to me. Played the whore on the Lord and served other gods. Remember the days of old, we the lost tribes. They don't believe the Bible, they say a white man wrote it, but still celebrate them holidays from white men, don't they? Like Christmas and Thanksgiving appetites. I don't even see my closest family half the time. Going out ain't an option, I won't compromise. I got integrity and more heart than Valentine. Kyrie tweeted a book they sell on Amazon, owned by the same folks that told them to apologize. Remember slaves couldn't read, wasn't allowed, so it's meaning when I tell you I'm black and I'm proud. Murdered us with the sword, that's how we learned religion. Community standards violate my First Amendment. Discontinue from my heritage under these bastards. Life a bitch, they make up lies and give you public lashes. I understand they confused by who the devil is. Why my people get so mad when I tell them this? Valley of dry bones, my niggas skeletons. It's hectic out there, hope you checking on your relatives. Brotherhood, that's where my weapon is. And I never let these crackers take it from you. Real talk, you probably never heard this all of your life. Be careful, cause that thing you love, it'll cost you your life. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga.
Yeah.
We build this shit.
Nigga, I done lost family, I done lost friends. Day one, niggas thought was riding to the end. Still showed up, put in that work. Hide behind a smile while I'm walking with this hearse. Some nights I felt alone, most nights I felt cold. Some nights I drove around, I ain't wanna go home. Nigga, I ain't never been, nah, I ain't never fold. Follow orders like a soldier doing what I'm told. Even when the council wasn't making any sense, I ain't never doubted, I just put it to the test. Days I was fucked up and down to my last cent. Reaching in my pockets, only coming up with lint. I'm talking even on the days that I couldn't pay my rent. I put it down for my brothers, ain't spared no expense. If I ever got bent, caused an offense, please forgive you, brother, Lord, that ain't what I meant. See that brotherhood a weapon, fight against deception. When something taken from you, then it's just a blessing. Shorty really loved me, gave me everything she got. And I'm sorry, baby girl, if I ever broke your heart. Man, mistakes that I made, don't know if they'll fade. Moving with a heavy heart, living with the pain. Take away the shame, wash away the stain. Praying to the Lord for the days that I was Cain. Sheesh.
Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood. Long as we got each other, my nigga. Cause we build this shit on brotherhood.
The Israelite School. Shalom, shalom, shalom. You in live Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge. NATAZACH, NASHAH, out of ISUPK, under command of General YAHANNA. These are Americans with God's chosen people. Why they just tap. Shalom Yatawab, Tazarai, Akwaf Nawa. Right. The dog on the scene,
Shalom, Yabba Shalom.
Akwaf, the bar, Shalom Yah. Yahweh Shemal Tazarai, the bar. All right. Lord. You understand? Most High Christ. So we continuing on in the kingdom. It's a lot of areas. Just open up for 14. Give everybody moments to get in here. My clear. You hear me clear, Yagadar?
Con, I can't hear the other one.
Okay. Coming through clear, Yagadar. I don't think you hit me. He ain't said nothing.
Con, I can hear you the other one.
You not hear me? Did I freeze? Okay, okay, I see somebody. They're far
froze
away.
a little bit. Hear you the other one.
Who's that, NATAZACH?
Shalom, YAHANNA.
Shalom, YAHANNA.
Clock.
Talawakah, sir.
Y'all give me a 1 if you watch and you can hear me clear. It looks like we're breaking up pretty bad.
Salakia, sir.
I hear you got quiet.
You froze, sir. Your screen frozen.
Ah, yes. One second.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone.
Salakia, y'all bear with us while we get the stream straight. That was a commercial for one of several series we have on the YouTube channels. Click on the YouTube channels and go to the playlist. You will see one of several series that we have. Form of all things, sad, hard lessons. They always get away. Again, we always in the lab putting something together. So y'all make sure y'all check those playlists out. Like, share, subscribe, share the stream. If this is your first time checking in, make sure you put your city name and state inside of the chat. Put your city name and state inside the chat. Get credit for being in class. Cap will be joining us soon. How you doing over there, Officer Yaquab?
I'm Tawad, sir.
Sign Christ. Cap should be joining us very soon. Want to give a shout out to Officer Salakia. Give a shout out to Captain Urash Maf, being raised up to a captain, doing the impossible in the UPK. We are extremely proud of that brother for the work he's been putting in for years. There's a ton of content on these channels. So once again, y'all make sure y'all share. Brother's been putting work in for years, building this channel up and getting this truth out. So do your due diligence. You know, I mean, we got classes going back 4-5 years, Officer Yaquab. So I mean, it's a plethora of again information for everybody. You know what I'm saying, to learn.
Right.
Change your style up real quick. Like I said, Cap should be with us shortly. White man, the devil, the Bible speak of. They building data centers all over the earth, running your electric bill up, filtering, polluting all the water over the earth, but the Wi-Fi still ain't no better.
Right.
White man, the devil that the Bible speak of. Again, Yahbashim Shabbat to all the brothers that's joining us. Yahweh Shemal Athan Bashim Yahweh shout out all the sisters that's out there joining us. The title of the class, this is a continuation, building the kingdom, salvation, and this new life. Where Cap left off at, I'll just go into a verse while we're waiting on him to get back. One of the verses that he left off at was Deuteronomy 32 and 39. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. We're gonna read that until he get back in here. There's a lot going on in the news. I'm pretty sure y'all heard of the 14-year-old that got killed about a year or so back. They let the Chinese man off, and a lot of people are upset. But what we fail to realize, everything that happens because the Most High ordains it so. And the reason why we are left unprotected and victims is because we refuse to do what the Lord has commanded us to do, and that's come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Where we left off at last time when Cap was here, we were at Deuteronomy 32 and 39. I'm going to throw it in the chat. Like I said, this is one of the last verses we had in the last class that he taught. And I know he gonna come in and ask you, where was we at last time? So then a little cheat code fight. And it reads, see now that I, even I am he. The Most High is saying that I am he. That's the new slogan they got out nowadays. You know what I'm saying, Officer Yaquab? I don't know if you've seen it. It says, I'm him. I'm him. It's so much of our culture that we inherently, you know what I'm saying, attach ourselves to. The new thing is now is I'm him. Well, the Most High was saying this way back in Deuteronomy. He says, see now that I, even I am he. He said, I am that nigga. I'm him. That Christian church, America, everybody will have you thinking that this oppressor is untouchable. Trump is untouchable. America is untouchable. Nobody can stop this. Everybody's hands is in the air. They want to go tear the Chinese man store up. They say they're going like the damn right Aqua Farad said they destroyed his store. And I'm not sure if that's an old picture though. I was doing a little research on it. They were saying that's actually from when it first happened, that they tore that store up, and that it's under new ownership and they had police surrounding it now. So I'm not sure if that's from before or if that's now, but I do know that the people in that area are not planning on letting them come back in and set up shop, which is good. It shows some form of uniformity and solidarity. But the problem is, if we don't unite and come together underneath these scriptures, underneath this law, these laws, statutes, and commandments, it don't matter what we do. It don't matter what we do. These scriptures, this teaches us who our enemy is. If we would have known what this Bible said to begin with, then we would know that man is an enemy when we go to a store. He wouldn't have been welcome coming into the neighborhood to begin with. We had stores. We had mom and pop stores. Yeah, mom and pop stores all over the country. I remember when I was growing up off of Yaquab, even in Chicago. I mean, you can go down there to the Candy Lady house. You go down to the Candy Lady house, you buy you cookies, you know what I'm saying? A good $1. You come with a whole bag, a brown little sack full of candies and goodies, you know what I'm saying, for $1 or $2. And over the years, you know what I'm saying, all of that has dispersed and it's gone now. And it's gone now because we don't have a sense of identity. We don't have a sense of identity. We want to merge and be with everybody else. We want to align ourselves with everybody else's agenda. We want to be just like everybody else. We want to be just good old Americans, and that's the problem. It was a couple weeks back. General Hyman taught a great class, like he always does, and he was talking about the Patel family or the Patel group, these East Indians, and how they own 80% of the motels. 80% in this country. Now, this is a foreign entity. These people weren't even allowed over here before civil rights. Before the civil rights era, that we went out there and got dogs sicked on us, water hose sprayed on us, you know what I'm saying? Bones broken, bust upside the head, went to jail. Before then, they wasn't letting Africans over here. They wasn't letting East Indians over here. They wasn't letting none. Chinese weren't even coming over here like that before. You know what I'm saying? So we opened up that door for them. They came over and took all the benefits from the beatings that we took. They took all the benefits of, but when they came, they kept their identity. They didn't come over here seeking to be part of America. They didn't come over here trying to obtain some voting block, get some voting block so we can get representation and we can go out here and vote and change it from the inside. I know you done heard that before, Officer Yaquab. We're going to change it from the inside. They didn't come over here doing that. They came over here. They got in them hotels. They stuck to their diets. They put their own people inside of those rooms. Now they were able to fire all the staff. They fired all the staff. Now they're hiring their own people. And slowly but surely they amassed a fortune enough to go buy another hotel, then another hotel, then another hotel. See, you can't do anything like that. Slacky, go ahead.
Slacky, sir, if I could, just the piggyback of what you're saying. Like the Patel Corporation. The Patel Corporation is a family. You know, most of them East Indians, it's a family over there known as the Patels. The Patels is mostly your East Indian doctors. They put their last name are Patel. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it, what you're saying is so heavy. Like the white man know exactly what he be doing. He calculated. You understand? When the white man, the way the East Indians got the hotels is the white man, right? They came up with another plan, which is how they started the Airbnb thing, right? Mm-hmm. The Airbnb going into hotels and resorts. You understand what I'm saying? So what the white man did was he left the motel market, let the East Indians get it, and then guess what the white man went and did? He started raising rent up everywhere. California, right. In California, if you look up the black and Hispanic rate and where they live at, they live in motels. The motels is costing them like $1,400 to $1,500 a week.
That's right.
You got to try to wonder. You have to ask yourself, how are they even affording it? You know, when the jobs are the way they is. So you go and you look at all the gas stations. Notice white people don't even own gas stations anymore. So basically, you could tie all of this in, sir. Just further proving your point. They let these people come over here, all of these different nationalities come over here, and they give them all of this stuff, as long as they discriminate against us.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's the deal. The deal is we'll give this to you. We'll give this to you, but y'all got to do this right here. Put these rules and these laws, implicate this type of structure, and we'll give you whatever you want. And that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing too about this Ricky Child, so like it, sir, I don't know if you've seen it, but I did some research. You know, he was involved in 2 prior shootings.
That's right, 2 of them. Yep. They say he was known for chasing people around with that gun.
Right, he was known for it. And a video just resurfaced where he was in the store and he locked up a bunch. It was those little girls.
Yep.
Those was teenage girls. And if you see the video when he on top of her choking her, you can see the gun.
When he on top of her choking her, you can see the gun.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And that just goes the water. Most like at the water, y'all got quiet, y'all can do, y'all hear me good?
We hear y'all the one.
Come on, sir.
Okay, Most High Christ. And that's why it's so important that we build the kingdom of the Most High. It's extremely important. All of the things that we've done as a people, thinking that we making some sort of headway in this empire, and one heathen can come and have free reign with all the Bloods and Crips, ass niggas.
Yeah, it's going in and out again, out of one. Is it going in and out for you too, Officer Yaquab?
Come on, sir.
Okay.
You actually look froze right now.
Yeah, it's froze right now, the one. At the water for everybody being patient, everybody that's joined. Princess Tazarah, Akwaf the Bar, Princess Akwaf Nazama Nah out of New Orleans. It's good to see you as well, sis. I hope you're recovering well. Good to see you. I think I was online with Officer Madaba the other night. Another one to stay online, burning them up on TikTok. Akwaf Raya with us, Akwaf Azara Kah, Akwaf Adasa, you know what I'm saying, Officer Yabakar in the building, sign Christ. We got Akwaf Kenyatta checking in from Norfolk, Virginia. We got Officer Akal Sapar as well. Always good to see you, priest. And we got young man Raheem checking in from Jersey City. All the way out there in Jersey City. Most High Christ. Good to see you, brother. But again, Cap should be with us shortly. But like he was saying, that's why it's so important for us to build our own. The Christian church in this place have convinced us that the best path for success is to join and integrate with them. And all that has done is given them more access to abuse and brutalize us. That's all it's done. That's all it's done. We have no sense of self. We think that the vote is going to save us. We think getting out to the ballot box is going to save us. When they done came back now and told you that your vote does not matter. Doesn't matter. And we still rely on that. I think I watched a video about a week or so ago where they was marching on Selma again. They was marching over the bridge again. as if it worked the first time. They're gonna march over it a second time. Yahba Shimmy Shabakatha. We got Captain Yerushamoff checking in. Most High Christ. Captain Yerushamoff checking in. You know, again, so again, they're going back and doing the same things that haven't helped us before. That's Psalms 83 that we read, that we go over every Sabbath service, every Avodah Shabbat, we go over that. It says, for they have consulted together with one consent. If it's one thing that the rest of the nations in America can agree on, they can fight over oil, they can fight over land, they can fight over the mineral, the rare earth minerals, they can fight over all of that. But one thing that they confederate on, they in agreement on, is their hatred for blacks, Latinos, and Native Indigenous people. Their persecution of blacks, Latinos, and Native Indigenous people. The Chinese man come from way over there, not even speaking a lick of Chinese. Last week it was a Chinese man involved in a car driving a bus in Virginia. Unalived 5 people in Virginia. Didn't speak a lick of English. Salaki, I think we got Cap back with us.
All right, let's try now. Everybody, give me some ones if y'all can hear me. Y'all hear me? Just give me some ones. Let me get some ones before I go ahead. Try this again. All right, I got 1. All right, I got 2 ones. All right, the ones is coming in. The water. All right, Most High in Christ, the water. That's what I was saying is very important. Just as Officer Yagadar was saying, it's very important that we have our own set up. Salvation is important. It's very, very important. You understand? Give me Zephaniah 2:1. Hold that, Yagadar. Give me Jeremiah 14:2. Officer Yagadar, please. Read that Jeremiah for me, please.
Book of Jeremiah 14 and 2. Judah mourning.
The Lord said the real Jews are in a state of, it's important for us to learn about our life, and it's important for us to learn about salvation. You hear so many stories now. I was looking at some podcasts. Sisters and a brother down in Norfolk got a podcast called Wait a Damn Minute. And some brother was talking about how he was suicidal. And this is an older brother. He's got full of gray beard. And he's talking about how he has his of himself because, you know, life just not going right. And he got a couple other clips. You know, I don't know my father, trying to figure out who my father is. Like, it's so much pain and so biblical ethnic Jews.
I'll take it. Oh, yeah, I'll get it out
Yeah, who that stranger you done let in the building?
the one and only.
Shalom. Shabakatham.
Yeah, Shabakatha. What's going on out of wine?
Not a whole lot. What's good with you?
Not too much. A little technical difficulties. You know how they like to do. They be trying to shut Cap up. And we want Cap to get loose, you know.
Exactly. It's gonna happen either way.
But he was breaking down Jeremiah chapter 14 and 2. If you want to pick up on it until they get back.
Most High in Christ. How about you read, man?
Come on.
Go ahead, read from the top, Baba Kushan.
Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourning.
Judah mourneth. Judah mourneth. Y'all were talking about the brother. What's his name? Cyrus. What was his last name?
Thanks,
Remember
Cyrus.
his last name?
It's been something.
Starts with a B, but yeah, we are in the state of mourning, and the injustice that has just happened is just another example of how we are so destroyed, and how we are in a constant state of mourning because we are around these other nations. We are around these other nations. Like I think Cap is coming back.
All right. You should be good to go again. Like we are in mourning because we're around these other nations, that the real biblical ethnic Jews are in a state of mourning. And if you don't teach your Black, Latino, or Native American sons and daughters what God said about the state of our people, you leave the door open to wonder, to hope, to guess, to not know what's actually happening in life, in the world, to not know why all of these things, these feelings, these events, this uncertainty. Who's my daddy? What's my identity? What do we do next? This money. Donald Trump just removed federal government protections for 8,000 more jobs. He's making it to where there is no protection for job safety, so that all the jobs that all the niggas do get taken away. Anything that's relying on the government, he's working to remove everything, to strip it down to where there's only stuff available for white people. And then he's going to start taking things for white people after they realize that he wasn't on their side either. And then that's when all civil war is going to break out. He's not only planning for it, he's pushing to make sure that it happens. A stick twisted evil way, because he knows this empire has but a short time. They understand that they are trying to provoke World War III and civil war and race war, just like the biblical prophecies say, because he knows this is the end of his empire. He knows it. I don't know what he thinks happens to him at the end of the empire. I don't know if you read that part. As a white man.
The oppressors are relentless tonight. Wow.
Trying hard. Give Cap a couple seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, that brother's name is Cyrus Belton. I put it in the chat.
For what?
And what Cap is saying is so right. You notice what we haven't heard in the news. You know, they done been real quiet about Iran. And so if you pay attention to any global news, it's going down over there right now. Iran is dropping bombs, Israel's dropping bombs, America's dropping bombs, and you don't hear anything about it over here.
Hey, Salaki, it can't be going down. They in a ceasefire.
Yeah.
they in a ceasefire. There has been more bombs dropped since this ceasefire. And they're talking about, well, we're not sure what that's going to do with the ceasefire. Y'all are at war.
Yep.
But the oppressors, the devil the Bible speaks of. That's why the language is what it is in the news about this so-called ceasefire. They've been doing nothing but dropping bombs. No, everybody's dying, but apparently there's peace. Apparently somehow there's not an actual war going on. Because what? Because you said on a piece of paper or something, somebody sent an email. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can have a ceasefire and yet you're sinking ships with bombs.
Yep.
But somehow we're supposed to believe in this oppressor and what he puts in the news and what he puts in a history book and what he puts in his Christian church. It has nothing to do with anything in the Bible. All he does is lie and deceive, which is why he's the devil the Bible speaks of.
Damn right.
And more and more, what we're seeing is devils like to get lied to.
Oh, yeah.
They don't really want to hear the truth. And so often, our people, we end up imitating who the devil is, which is why we don't want to hear the truth either.
That's right.
Christianity feels so good that hearing the actual truth of the Bible is somehow wrong. Salaki, sir.
It absolutely is somehow wrong. That's why Ezekiel 13:22 said, with lies you have saddened the heart of the righteous. Like our people have been saddened because we don't know what life is actually about. We think life is chasing pleasure and voting and holidays, and those things leave you empty. And as a people, we need an identity. We have an identity. Just imagine your entire life that you are a bird. Bird, you got the bird's wings, you got the bird's beak, you got the bird's keen eyesight, but you're not raised by birds. And you're not raised to live a bird's life. You're not raised to live the life of a falcon. You're not raised to do that. You're raised to be a fish. So you're trying to swim, and you struggle your whole life trying to swim like a damn fish. But you got these damn feathers that aren't good for swimming. You got these damn claws that aren't good for swimming. You got this beak that isn't good for breathing in the water. You got these eyes with this good vision that isn't good for being in the water. You can't move to live life as a fish, and we're supposed to be falcon. You understand? We've been taught to live life like a white man, supposed to be the children of God. Living life like an oppressor has destroyed us. It has put things inside of us that were never supposed to be there in our spirit. It's put the idea that the respectable people are the ones who take an innocent man's life. That is, the strong man is supposed to be the one that can terrorize and brutalize the weak instead of protect the weak, instead of make weak people stronger, instead of defend the poor and the fatherless. We've been living the white man's lifestyle. That his idea of sex is, whatever is pleasing to him. There's no rules. Somebody weaker, stronger, take it. Child, woman, a man weaker than you, just do whatever makes you feel.
And the water again for everybody's patience. We're gonna definitely get through it.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna definitely get through it.
Yeah, right. It's a lot. If I could, Cap's point was so heavy, was so absolutely heavy. Here's one thing I didn't fully understand until I came into the truth, and had been here for a while. How every other nation, but particularly the oppressor, is an absolute animal.
That's right.
Is an absolute animal, and you may not understand it, but when you think about, because of course we want to, again, because of the Christian church, we want to believe everybody's human and that God loves everybody and everybody has worth on the planet. And okay, I get it. But when you look at the behavior of the oppressor, damn right, Ottawa.
That's right.
Damn right.
God damn it. Not even coming up. It's not coming up at all.
Yeah, we can hear you out of one. We can't see you though. Salakia, the one, if I may, Officer Uriah Salakia, Captain Uriah Mouth. But in the chat, Salakia Cap, imagine a fish wanting to fly in the sky. Every fish will look at that one fish like it's insane. And that's exactly how they look at us. When you come in this truth, like Officer NATAZACH was saying, and you know who you are, you know your purpose, you know what God has made you for. They look at us like we're insane. Go ahead, Alwan.
Yes, absolutely. That's a heavy point that Captain Uriah Mouth made. And now imagine you looking at all the other fish saying, I don't think we fish, y'all. Nigga, what are you talking about? Of course we fish. We in the water. I don't think we fish. I'm not sure we fish. But your daddy was a fish. Your granddaddy was a fish. Your mama's a fish. Nigga, you a fish. Here you go again. Talking about that. I don't think we fish. Listen, you were born here. You were raised in the water. Your whole family in the water. I know that's what we've been doing, but I don't think we supposed to be fish. We got these wings. We got these feathers. Look at these feet. These is not fish. Do you know any other fish besides our type of fish that don't have fins? And scales. They want it. Long enough. I don't think we're fish.
If you can hear us out of one, it's frozen.
It's like it, sir. The internet provider is the devil.
That's right.
Yeah, brother. Hey, damn right.
That's right. But now, but getting back to, you know what I'm saying, what Officer Rosh's, I mean, Salakia Captains, hold on, I think Cap might be back. Nope, not yet. But Captain's point, even if that fish finds a way to fly, doesn't mean it belongs in the sky. They still find a way to shoot us down. I think I seen a story today. Young girl, I think she said she's like 12, 13, getting ready to go to medical school. Black girl, of course. Story before that, another one, highest IQ. She's a little Latino sister. It's so many. I mean, you go all through our history where we've done these extraordinary things, and yet and still we'll still believe that narrative that we the thugs and we the criminals and everything that they tell us, even though it's obviously a lie. When you talk about us coming out of slavery less than 100 years ago, you know what I'm saying? I mean, slavery and chains and bondage. Okay, we might be in now.
All right, let's try it again. Yes, in less than 100 years coming out of slavery, we completely shot up. We completely took over. So much so that they were afraid and they had to change the rules. The oppressor always changed the rules once we start to succeed. That's why we need salvation from our oppressor. That's why we need to be separate. The Lord said, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. We are a race of people that's not desired anywhere. Whoever this brother is, brother 777, make sure you put your name in for attendance so the officer taking attendance can get you down. Put your name in your city where you're at in for attendance, brother. All right. But that's important to know. That's what. Let me see. Freeze again. Give me the Jeremiah 14:2.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourning.
The real Jews are in a state of mourning. If you are a Black, Latino, Native American man, you need to get into the ISUPK so we can learn the proper way for us to have a society. We cannot do that in church. We can't do it in Islam. We can't do it in gangs. We can't do it in the military and the police force. We tried all of that. The only place that actually has the protection of the Most High is in the ISUPK, so that we can raise up and build our nation, not some man's fantasy or idea of what's good or what's right or what he likes, till we find out he's scamming, hustling, selling dope, running hoes, all kind of stuff. Like, we have to finally get to what the Most High said for us to do. And the only way to do that is to come into the ISUPK, because the Lord is not with anybody else, did not appoint anybody else. Christianity has taught us that we are free to all choose our own life. Choose your God, choose your religion, do all choosing, that God himself did not give us the right to do all of this choosing. Choose your leader, choose your mayor, choose your gender, choose your sexual preference. You are not allowed to do all this damn choosing. God in the Bible did not give us all of these choices. God gave ultimatums and consequences. And this is what our people need to know before we raise another generation full of depression and drug addiction, not falling apart.
Truth of the Bible is coming out either way.
That's right.
Not going to slow a damn thing down. Not going to slow nothing down. This is what our people need. This is what our people need. Our identity. This Bible is our constitution. It's our identity. It's the thing. I believe Commander General YAHANNA said this. I'm sure he said it so many times before, but I believe I heard him say it over the weekend. It's the tool, it's the blueprint to get us out of captivity. It's absolutely what we should be using and following to get us out of the captivity and the bondage that we're in. and some technical difficulties ain't gonna stop it. It's not gonna stop it at all.
Damn right. And so, like, if I may, I want to add to your point. It's the one thing that we refuse to do.
That's right.
You know, I see it so much in the comment section of our people. We want to fight. We want to fight. We want to get high. We want to join the military. We want to do any and everything except for what this Bible says to do. You want to boycott the store, not knowing that a boycott gonna last 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? You want to raid the store and unalive little Chinese man, knowing that you're not gonna get no justice in that court system either way it goes. So it's not gonna solve anything. You know what I'm saying? When we bring up this Bible that has actual solutions in it, that's the one thing we reject. That's the one thing we reject. You have fake Israelite groups and mystics and all kinds of different brothers online and Kemet and Islam and everything else, and they actually study and read this Bible just to disprove it. They study and read this Bible just to show that this is what we shouldn't be doing. They actually spend time, and it says it in the scriptures. They study wise to do evil. They study this Bible just to say that we shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? Like it's a damn trivia game when this is the only thing that we haven't tried. We've tried everything else. We've tried Islam. We've tried Christianity. We've tried the military. We've tried joining their police force. We've tried getting inside of their government and working it from the inside. We've marched. We begged. We've cried. We've gotten beat. We've got locked up. You name one thing that we haven't done. And we should see the end result of it now. And at each point where we thought we had success, well, the Lord is showing you now that you didn't. And Trump is snatching all of that back. America is snatching all of that back. All the accomplishments, all the things that we made and we came and we thought that were goals that we met during the civil rights era, that's all gone now. They gutted the Voting Rights Act. Your vote don't mean anything now if you black. It means absolutely nothing if you black. You join the military, they're erasing your service from the books, from the internet. How evil and wicked do you have to be to say, you know what, we're going to erase those accomplishments from just spiteful things. There was a time where, they went through and they pulled down all the Confederate statues and so forth in Virginia and across the country. They changed the names of the bases. One base in particular, you got Fort Lee right there in Virginia, that they changed the name of that base. Do you know when Trump then got in office, they went and changed the names all back to the same names they were before? But then they lied and said, well, no, this is for this private here. This is not for General Lee. This is for this private whose last name was Lee. Just to, you know what I'm saying, put those same Confederate names back on these bases again. What else does it take? What else does it take? They had to actually work to find, somebody in this military service with this name that we can put on it so we can restore the names of the same Confederate soldiers that had slaves and so forth. The Confederates lost. They lost the war. They still fly that flag here. This is prideful in this country here. That's just how much they hate blacks, Latinos, and Native Indigenous people. And we still are trying to join them. Still are trying to, just like it says in Lamentations 4:17, we are still looking for this nation to save us. Why would that be in the Bible? If this Bible is for everybody, why would that be in that Bible? Why would that be in there? You wouldn't have verses like that in the Bible if this was for everybody. Christ coming back to save everybody. Luke 1:71, Christ is coming back to save us from our enemies. You know what I mean? So when we try to teach our people that, again, this is the only way, like you saying with Commander Junior Honor, this is the only path to salvation. And salvation isn't a vote. Salvation isn't getting more representatives in the state house. That's not salvation. Salvation isn't getting a cop fired after he punches a sister in the face 10 times as hard as he possibly can. He gets fired, so now he can go work at another police station. That's not salvation, and it's not justice. But because of Christianity, because of this place, because we refuse this Bible, we look for that and we think that that's justice. We think justice is a check. I saw somebody online and say, well, at least they can go sue him now in civil court and get a check, like that's going to bring that young 14-year-old boy's life back. It's not going to bring his life back. And that's not the first time that one of them have unalived us. And it hit a national level. It It happened to a little sister in California back in what, 99? Was it 99 or 97? What happened to the little sister? And a Chinese lady unalived her in the store.
Earlier than that. Yeah, I think it's a lot. I think it might have been earlier than that, like 91, 92, something like that. Yeah.
Then we got Cat back.
What's high cross?
We had him back for a second. Most High Christ. Yeah, he will be back. Think about Cap. He is not gonna stop.
Yeah, okay, most
yeah, they unalived their sister. Then they came down and actually ruled against the lady, and she ended up getting probation for taking a child's life. What else does it take for our people to say, you know what, we're gonna get back on this Bible. We're gonna rely back on this Bible. It's the one thing that we refuse to do. And it shows you that again, that Bible is so true. We the same people that we were back in the day. Same people. Because that's the one thing we didn't want to do back then as well. When we saw go ahead, Ottawa.
You make a heavy point about getting back to the Bible, and that's why Christianity is so evil. Christianity is so evil and wicked because it allows our people to believe that they're actually in the Bible. It allows our people to believe that they're actually following the God of the Bible because your Christian pastor's lying to you every damn week.
That's right.
Your Christian pastor tells you everything that's opposite of what's in the Bible. And it allows our people to believe it's the truth and continue doing every wicked thing they desire.
Fact.
It allows them to think that they're going to get some kind of salvation after they die. They're going to go to some magical place in the sky so they can behave any way they want to now as long as they tell Jesus so. It requires, Cap made a statement a few minutes ago that the Bible, what the God of the Bible gives ultimatums and punishment.
That's right.
Anybody who's ever been in a relationship with a man, if your sister been in a relationship with a man or a brother been in a relationship with a woman, an ultimatum is the last thing you want. You get a lot of people who say, I refuse to respond to an ultimatum. That's what the Lord does. You know why? Because it requires something of you. You don't get to have it both ways. The God of the Bible does not allow you to behave any way you want and get salvation. The God of the Bible doesn't allow you to eat and celebrate anything you want, have sex with anything you want, and get into the kingdom of heaven. You get an ultimatum. Either you can follow the law, statutes, and commandments or not. And there's a consequence and a result for either one of them. Matter of fact, if you don't mind, give me Deuteronomy 28:1. There are consequences and results for either one based on how we as a nation responds. That's the other thing that the Christian church lies to our people about. We are not judged individually. We are judged as a nation, together, collectively. What I do, I have to be responsible and mindful of what I do because it affects everybody, every Black, Latino, and Native American brother and sister.
I got it for you. You ready, Ottawa?
Most High Christ. Either one makes me no difference, please.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass.
And it shall come to pass, meaning this is a prophecy. This is, and again, this is practical knowledge in the Bible. You never had a child, you tell them, all right, now, this is going to happen. This is the same way the Lord deals with us. Keep going.
If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy God.
Hearken. Hearken is Old Quaker English for listen. If you will listen diligently, what does diligently mean? Y'all put it in the chat. Who can tell me what diligently means? When you hearken diligently, it means if you listen well, if you listen, you put forth effort to actually hear it. Salaki, I asked y'all a question and then answered it. Salaki. But go ahead. Keep going, Baba Fasha.
To observe and to do all of his commandments, which I command thee this day.
To observe and to do. Meaning what? Meaning you recognize them, but guess what? You actually follow them. You actually follow them. And nowhere does anybody know how to follow and do and observe the law, statutes, and commandments unless you're in the ISUPK under command and General YAHANNA. If you are anywhere else, you are being lied to. If you are in that Christian church, there's no requirement to follow anything that's in the Bible. There's no, you know what? They give you a couple of them. Of course, we know the main one. Who can tell me the main one? They're going to make sure you follow regardless. There's one law. There's one statute that they might not, matter of fact, they won't let you out the church unless you follow.
Close the doors.
Hello, they won't let you out the
Close
church
the doors.
unless you follow. Anything else, it's on you. You can be who you want to be, and it's individual, and it's about your personal relationship with God. But this one, oh, they gonna close the doors. They gonna lock the doors till they get your money. But outside of that, you can pretty much do whatever you want. That is not what the Bible is about. That's not what the Lord is about. We are supposed to listen, observe, and do, which means to keep, follow, adhere to the law, statutes, and commandments. Keep going.
That the Most High, thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
We are supposed to be in a particular position in this planet. We are supposed to be on top. Deuteronomy 7 and 6 says the same thing. That's the precept. We are supposed to be in a position of authority where every other nation conducts themselves based on the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave us. Why? Because they are all animals. They are all animals who don't know how to conduct themselves. But this is, was there some more on that?
That was good. Out of one.
Most High Christ, if you don't mind, take me to Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Most High Christ.
This is the Lord telling us, if you do this, if we listen to the law, statutes, and commandments, we're going to be in a particular position, in power, in authority, making sure that these other nations don't conduct themselves the way they naturally do. Because they really need to be under control. They need to be brought under authority, because if not, you have young brothers getting unalived and nobody has to face any justice for it. If not, then you'll have a damn ceasefire. What they're telling you is a ceasefire, and all they're doing is having war over there. Mm-hmm. It's nothing but lies. So go ahead. You got that second one?
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
But, meaning there's an alternative. Meaning rather, there's something else we're going to talk about now. Go ahead.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
Same thing, same tone. It's going to come to pass. It's going to happen if you don't hearken unto the Lord, the voice of the Lord. If you don't listen, if you don't actually do what he asks. Keep going.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
This is Moses giving the instruction. This is Moses saying, listen, the Lord is going to put us in a position. He's going to put us in a position of authority, and all we got to do is follow his laws. You're going to lay them out. But if we don't follow his laws, if we don't observe them, recognize them, and actually follow them, right, there's going to be a different outcome. Let's see what it is. Keep going.
That all these curses shall come upon thee.
All these curses shall come upon thee. Who can tell me what a curse is? Who can tell me what a curse is? The Christian church might have you believing a curse is how you speak. They say there's curse words. Ain't that what they say? They say there's curse words. I can't believe y'all speak like that, using curse words. Let's find out what a curse is. Who can tell me what a curse is?
Salak, y'all, the one if I may.
Please.
Having to go to a heathen to get your water. That's a curse, out of one.
That's a damn curse. I'll give him a hand. That is a curse. That is a curse. It's a curse to have to go to a heathen to get your water. It's a curse to have to be subject to other nations in your own neighborhood. Please.
It is a curse to be 14 years old and get chased out of a store and shot in the back.
That's an absolute curse.
Damn right.
Damn right. The cat might be coming back. Most High Christ will keep going. But that's an absolute curse. Y'all are absolutely correct. A curse is the opposite of a blessing. A curse is the opposite of a blessing. When you get blessed, you get something good. Right? That's not hard to understand. When you get cursed, you get something terrible. Your life, your nation, your neighborhood, your community, your family is in a state of mourning, as it says in Jeremiah 14:2, because your situation and your circumstances are horrible.
That's right.
And that's what we have to deal with. And guess what? Was that was the end of that verse, right?
You got a little bit more out of one. It says, and overtake thee.
And overtake thee. That's the part I was looking for too. Again, overtake thee. What does that mean? Anybody ever watch racing?
Mm-hmm.
You ever watch NASCAR? Right? All they do is ride around in circles. But what happens when one car overtakes another? You basically catch them. And that's where you listen. The Bible is black. It's written for blacks, Latinos, for and by blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. How did our parents speak to us? You keep it up, it's gonna catch up with you. You keep doing that, that's gonna catch up with you. That's what it means to be overtaken. That's what happens. That's what happens to us in our communities. We are overtaken by these things because the Christian church lets us believe that celebrating Christmas and celebrating your birthday and voting and celebrating Valentine's Day and eating pork and shrimp and crab and lobster and all those things are okay. And what happens is you'll be a 14-year-old a young man running for your life. And unfortunately, it overtook him.
That's right.
We should not even, it shouldn't even be possible because we shouldn't be around these other nations.
That's right.
And this is the fact, this is the reality as far as why it's so important for us to understand that following the law, statutes, and commandments are not only an obligation that we individually have to the Lord, but we individually have to each other. If we follow the law, statutes, and commandments like we should have, that young man would have never been unalive. There would be no Sandra Bland. There would be no Tamir Rice. There would be no Alton Sterling. There would be no Philando Castile Salakia, sir.
There would be no Tatiana Jefferson. There would be none of these things would have never happened if we obeyed the Lord, which is why it's so important, the water. Absolutely important that we know what salvation is for, who salvation is for, our people, just as much as you were believing in getting a job, getting a degree, buying a house, a car, chasing hoes, being the realest nigga in the streets, killing the ops, getting to the football, basketball practice. As much as we believe in succeeding in this world and society, all of that is misplaced. Our beliefs and hopes and dreams are supposed to be gathered into earning salvation for our race of people. That's the point. That's the goal. But we're not being taught about that. And because of it, it leaves a serious gap, a serious plot hole in what life is supposed to be. That's why we're going over it. Let me get a conclusion of the whole matter. Give me this. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Should be in Ecclesiastes. Find that for me, NATAZACH. Let's try this, Jeremiah. Let's give me the scripture I had you hold it from the beginning. Y'all can please. Lord willing, we get to it. The white man is the devil.
Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourning.
The real Jews are in a constant state of mourning and suffering, just like you've been hearing throughout the class. It's important for your sons and daughters. It's important to know that our people are in a state of mourning. So by the time the sadness, the depression gets around to you, you're not sitting with a gun in your hand getting ready to blow your brains out. You're not sitting with a bunch of pills in your hand trying to numb the pain, trying to smoke it away, drink it away. You need to know that there is an action that you are supposed to be taking. There's a direct action you are required to do to not only lessen this burden on yourself, but on the rest of your people. And the problem is the vast majority of your race has refused to stand up to do and join the force to fix these problems before it all fell on top of them. Our people went to church and made church rich for generations. And now that all the black women had made church rich and billionaires, all the gay pastors that you love to see every week, now they're not going to give you a refund from all your billions of dollars of black woman church money. Now that Donald Trump has taken away all the federal government jobs. Now we actually get to see that all the voting, all the marching, all the civil rights, all the, let my voice be heard, all my security clearance, all of your praise and worship. Our people thought we were blessed being a part of America.
because we got to be the mascots. We got to be the dog that get his head rubbed or his belly scratched. You understand? We weren't looking at it like our people were in captivity. And because of it, we left serious holes for our enemies to come and capitalize. Because you know who's not going to lose their job? Racist Chinese gas station owners who execute young black men. They won't lose their jobs. They won't lose their hotels. They won't lose their tech companies. They won't lose their carryouts. They won't lose their bus companies. They have absolute job security because they have their race. And no Black, Latino, or Native American was taught that life is about race, what race you are. The reason why our people don't value how we treat each other because we don't value race. We think that we can go and join another race of people, their God, their customs, their holidays, and escape the responsibility that you have to fix your racist problems. And now the money is gone. The jobs is gone. Rest assured, they're working on a way to limit the amount of niggas that can get all of the rap money, all the NFL, NBA money. You understand? How do we get our people to join together? Whoever this is, just sign your name in for attendance. That's a very good question. Whoever this Graceful is. Graceful, just sign your name for attendance so the officer can get it. All right? That's an excellent question. Give me Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1 that I got you holding, Yaga Dog. Give me that real quick. First thing we must know is that Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. We are one race of people, and we must collectively get ourselves together to the place where God shall choose. The problem is, before we can get our people together where God shall choose, which is in the ISUPK, we have to teach our people that all the other places that we've gathered is wrong. That is the biggest obstacle, because our people have been raised Christians, our people have been raised Muslim, our people have been raised Buddhist, been raised to vote, been raised to just believe in your damn self. I'm my own person. Only black people say that stupid stuff. I'm my own person. I'm me. I represent myself. I don't follow no man. Only our people say that silliness. And that's why we lose community after community, and another race of people decide what education our children get and what jobs we can have and where our grocery stores and where our food supply is and where our water supply is. The first thing we must do is get our race and our identity back. Hold me Jeremiah chapter 7 and verse 17 and 4. Officer Yaquab, read what you got, Yagadar.
This is Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
This is a very important step. God said for us to gather together. In order for us to gather together, we must separate from whoever is not us. Whoever this is that answered this question. Say it again. Sign your name for attendance so we can get you down, so the officer can take you down, all right? Are you so-called Black, Latino, or Native American? Is your father Black, Latino, or Native American? I'm going to give you a second to answer that question since you posed the question, which is a very good question. All right? Who is this graceful gazelle? Are you so-called Black, Latino, or Native American? You second. Yes. You so-called Latino, so-called Native American. Just sign your name and sign when you are for attendance. It's your city, so the officer can take it down. All right, you are. Good. Good enough. So-called Black, so-called Latino, so-called Native American. Is your father so-called Black, Latino, or Native American? All right, good. All right. It's a very good question. Keep reading. Keep reading. Whoever's reading the scripture. Gather together. Go ahead.
Yay.
Yes. Yea means yes. Go ahead.
Gather together.
Yes, we must gather together, just like you said. Yea, gather together.
O nation, not desire.
O nation, not desired. We must understand that as a race of people, we are not desired. A Chinese man opens a business in an all-black community, and he is guaranteed success. And he is guaranteed success from people that he hates every time he sees us. From the kids to the mama to the grandmother. He hates every time he sees us. Yet and still, he is going to be funding, and so will all of his people, from doing business in our neighborhood. But he hates us. We must understand what our identity is. According to the Bible, the so-called Negro, Haitian, West Indian, so-called Latino, Native American, the descendants of the natives from North, South, Central America, and the Caribbean are Israelites. The 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel, and in the ISUPK, under Commander General YAHANNA, through the Spirit of God, through God's Holy Spirit, through the Spirit of Christ, we gather together the house, the children of God. That's the first thing. Meaning we must separate ourselves from the customs, the cultures, the gods, the beds, the religions of every other race of people, so that we can return back to ourselves, return back to our heritage. Without getting back to our race and ethnic identity, it is impossible to gather our people together. You understand that, whoever this is? You understand that? We have million-man marches. We got Nation of Islam. We got that. We got churches. We got marches. But that does not gather us together as a people. That doesn't unite us as a people. We must have our identity. Give me that Jeremiah 17 that you hold it.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
As a people, we must know that we have the heritage. We've been discontinued from our heritage. That's why it matters if you are a white man, African, Asian, Arab, East Indian, then you have not been discontinued from your heritage. You've not been cut off from the God of your fathers, from your celebrations, from your kings, from your gods. We have Christmas, Thanksgiving, whoever this is. I'm going to ask one more time. You can put your name up there so I can address you properly, and I can talk to these emojis in this digital world. All right? And then in a minute, I'm going to just address the class. All right? So, our people were raised in holidays. These holidays define our entire existence. Our life is shaped around the oppressor's Labor Day, his holidays, his 4th of July, his Christmas, his Thanksgiving, his religious services on Sunday, or their mosque, their Ramadan, their Eid, their holidays, their sayings. That's why we don't say all praises. All praises is a Christian thing that fake Israelites made up, like baby doll tassels on t-shirts. We don't say assalamu alaikum. That's something that the Arabs, the black, you understand, black people attempting to live the Arabs' lifestyle. Even though the Arabs hate black people all across the Arab world, they enslave and cruelly brutalize and disrespect black people solely based on their skin color all across the Arab world. And they are the ones that built the ships that the Africans sold us to the white man during the transatlantic slave trade. You understand? They have just as much to pay for as the so-called white man, and all of these reparations that black people think that they're going to get, when everybody owes reparations, including the Africans to us. You can't get them properly because you don't know who your enemy is or who sold you. Right now, West Africans are petitioning Europeans. They're petitioning Europeans to get slavery reparations. The Africans who sold us into slavery are trying to get reparations from Europeans for something they did to us. Because black people went to West Africa, taking the bait, come back home. It is the year of the return. And they came back with all of the white man's money from their 401ks, cashing out their retirement, and they moved to Ghana, and they got free citizenship, so they thought in Kenya, just in time for an Ebola outbreak, for them to raise all the prices. Before you know it, you sleeping on somebody's sofa, paying double, triple the rent, you running out of money, the lights is going out, the internet is not continuous, you don't know what's going on. You understand what's happening here? You don't know what's going on.
Still like it, sir.
All right.
We just gonna turn the camera around. Shalom, y'all gonna shoot your thug.
Shalom, Shushabrekatha. All right. Hey, you don't know what's going on. Shushabrekatha. Don't know what's actually happening. Because we must have a reference point. Like our people need to know what's being done to us. And we also need to know that the home that we thought was our home, give me the Micah 2 and 10. The home that we thought was our home, we thought America was our home. We thought we were a part of America, a part of the empire. That, you know, the reality is we were never a part of this place, and God did not want us to be a part of this place. God wanted us to build up the kingdom of Christ so that he could return and he would rule over us. You don't know who the mayor is in the Chinese city. You don't even know where the hell the Chinese city is. You don't know where the East Indians live. They move someplace and take over an entire place. Build houses, build schools, build their religious areas. They're not dialing 911. They're not going to court with you. Only time you see them in court is when they're trying to evict you out of their damn house. That's the only time you see them. They're not taking the issues they have in America to us, to the white man's court, to his justice system, to his 911. Why is that? Because their race of people is gathered together. Life is about race. Race is a team sport. Life is a team sport, not an individual, I'm my own man sport. You can't pass things down from generation to generation if everybody's an individual. You're going to die as a kid from another kid in your own neighborhood. That's what's happening to us. You understand? So keep going. Whoever's reading, keep going.
Come. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which
and
thou
the Lord.
knowest.
Right. God said we would be caused to serve our enemies. Same, whoever asked that question, do you know that we are serving our enemies? If you are Black, Latino, or Native American, you realize that we are serving our enemies? Do you know that? Put the question back up there, Yaga Doug, because I can't access.
Okay.
Put it up there for me. This person here, do you know that we are serving our enemies? Well, you taught that growing up, because this is important, so that you don't end up murdering another brother in Florida, and the only thing that stops you from getting sent to death row is the fact that some white man can use you for sweat equity. Because the last set of 20-year-olds that we sent to prison for life 50 years ago, they've all died. And now we need new young 18-year-olds to do a life sentence so we can get sweat equity and free prison labor from you because you murdered your brother, because you weren't taught that your enemies rule over you so that you didn't grow up and murder and hate your brother. Trying to be a white Italian gangster or an Irish gangster doing mafia hits. Were you taught that? To give you a few moments to respond. Were you taught that we were in the land of our captivity under our enemies? There we go. All right. Didn't understand that we were serving our enemies. Yes. A lot of our people didn't believe we were serving our enemies because we went to church. And church told us that we were saved as long as we sang songs, as long as we beat tambourines, as long as we had crab leg boils and fish fries. You understand? As long as we sang, and that meant we were saved. We rose for the national anthem. We saluted the flag, joined the military. We were proud of the white man's empire, not realizing God hates this place. And we are supposed to hate this place. You understand?
Okay.
Yes, I was and still am. That's right, Tazarah. You were taught. But the vast majority of our people were not taught that this is a place that the Lord created us. Like we're here as a punishment. Every Black, Latino, and Native American who had a job, got a security clearance, who got their degree, who walked across the stage, who got a bank account, was able to buy a house and a car and go shopping and fill up their refrigerator. Everyone thought that we were a part of America. Everyone thought that we were on the team, that race didn't matter. As long as you loved Jesus and had God in your heart, we all bleed red, we all brothers and sisters. That's a goddamn lie. Give me 1 Ezra chapter 8 and verse 84. That's a lie. That'll make you depressed if you are a Black child growing up in Norfolk and you're from Young's Park or Curry Park and you growing up in Norfolk and you see that everywhere that you lived, that you and your mom and your grandmother lived, it is now torn down. The place you called home is boarded up. You can't have this home anymore. Your society is gone. Your neighbors are gone. Your housing situation is changed. We are the only race of people where generation after generation have to completely start life from zero. Nobody does that. Give me that Micah chapter 2 and verse 10.
Khan, this is Micah chapter 2 and verse 10. Arise ye.
The Lord said, rise up. It's time for us to rise up in our spirits. That's why all the jobs is getting taken. That's why brothers and sisters is getting kicked out of the military. That's why Pete Hegseth is withholding promotions from women, withholding promotions from Blacks and Latinos. It is time for us to separate ourselves from America. Get out of their military. God is getting ready to kill all of America's military in World War III. God is getting ready to flood this planet with blood. It's described about how much war that is going to come to the planet Earth, not America, not one place, not here, not there. Christ said it's going to be as blood were up to the horse's bridle. How many of y'all have ever ridden a horse before?
Khan, I've rode one before, out of one.
It's a lot. Ridden a horse. Who's ridden a horse before? Y'all type in there. Who rode a horse before? Who's ridden a horse? Anybody ever ridden a horse before? All right, Sister Raj, she rode a horse. Officer Yagadars rode a horse. All right. First of all, a real horse is about 6 feet tall. That's at the horse's mouth. By the time you get up on top of a real horse, not one of them little ponies, a real horse, a full-grown horse, by the time you climb on top of one of them horses, you probably about 7 feet in the air, at least. Nowhere near the ground. When Christ returns, because of the amount of war that God is going to bring to the planet to get salvation for Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, it's going to be so much blood by surface area, by volume, that it were up to the horse's mouth. The thing you put in the horse's mouth to steer the horse left or right, he says it's going to be so much of a high volume of blood for the amount of war and death that Christ is going to send on the earth before he gets here and after he gets here with the 200 million angels that are the UFOs. That's why Donald Trump made a space military. That's why they went to outer space in the first place, to look for and find so that they could fight God. You understand? That's the purpose of it. So that's what the Lord is saying is coming. You understand? I think you moved the question. But riding the horses, you understand, that's what that was. The Lord said for us to arise. This is how we get salvation. The Lord wants us to take our spirit out of loving America, out of loving this world and this society, so that we focus on building our own. And that is something that we have not done. Not as Muslims, not as Christians, not in the Navy, not in the Army, not as Navy SEALs or Rangers or airmen or sailors. We have not built our society. We haven't. And that's what Christ commanded us to do. And we've never been given the instructions to build our society. That's why we keep getting killed. That's why our babies are in immigration dog cages, in prisons, in ICE detention centers, because Latinos went to church instead of the ISUPK, where God's protection is. And as a result, they don't have God's protection. And the oppressor who hunts us is able to do evil things to us as a people because we do not obey God, because we eat pork and we smoke weed and smoke cigarettes and we have interracial marriages and we get high and we celebrate Christmas and birthdays and Easter and we worship the gods of the other nations. You understand? Like Allah, who is the God of the Arabs, was a rock in Mecca, in Saudi Arabia. Like that white image of Caesar Borgia, which is the white image of Jesus Christ, that the majority of our people were raised to pray to, so that in an emergency, when you need to reach out to God, you are praying to a false image of a man who does not exist, that the oppressors made him their God. It's just a picture. You understand? That's why when our people call out for God, the God we're calling to cannot save us. We've been watching for America to save us. Voting, marching, protesting, integration, getting laws and bills passed. All of the civil rights laws and bills that got passed are being revoked. Trump is revoking citizenship, birthright citizenship, green cards. All of that's getting revoked. All of it. Everything that changed since the civil rights bill. All your affirmative action, all your DEI, all of you thinking that the only reason that we succeeded is because we went to school, we got degrees, we got higher education. The only reason that you succeeded because they hated you whether you were educated or not is because legislation was passed that they had to give you an opportunity. They had to allow you to work for the government. They had to allow you to work for the city and the state. They were forced to. Diversity is the only reason that the white man's America was forced to start to kind of treat you like a human being, was because of legislation that Donald Trump is week by week getting rid of all of it. You understand? Our people need to wake up. Keep reading.
And depart.
The Lord said, wake up and depart. Take your spirit out of America. How do you do that? You get in these ISUPK classes. You sign in for attendance. If you are a brother, you get in your all black and you contact the school and say, I want to be a trooper in the ISUPK so that I can start to join and do my part to build the force to fix our people before we all lose our homes, before we all lose our housing, before we all lose our jobs. Before, you understand? Gather yourselves together before the decree come forth. There's a decree coming forth to wipe you out. You don't realize it. For a very long time, our people thought that because I do right my way here, and I just pay my taxes, get my registration going, I just do my thing, and I don't bother anybody, that nobody would bother me. That's a lie. You've been lied to. Entire races of people hunt us. They hunt your neighborhood. They want your house as an investment property. They want your children as sweat equity. They want you to kill your babies in Planned Parenthood so that they can take the aborted fetus cells to use them as flavor enhancers in their food, in their soft drinks. This place is not our rest. We were led to believe that America was sweet and wonderful, in Hollywood, in Vegas, in Universal Studios, in Miami, in the Big Apple. God wanted us to hate this place, hate it enough to separate and build our own world separate. That's what's required. But we can't do that as Christians and Muslims. Keep going.
For this is not your rest.
God said this place is not our rest. This isn't the place where we go to make it, where we go to become a great success, where we're supposed to be beloved and become the champion for the empire. This place is designed to destroy you if you're a woman, teach you don't need no man, right up until the point where they take your job, your security clearance, and your bank account is empty, and now you're on the street as a grandma who was young, empowered with her money and her degree, and then you're 50 years old on the street with a suitcase, walking around asking strangers for a place to stay after all the cities get rid of the shelters. You have no man. You have no husband. You fought a man so that he couldn't have more than one wife. So all the beloved grandkids that would love you, that would have houses and resources to make sure that you never became homeless, all of them got aborted. While every woman was empowered and strong and not needing no man and married to your career. Well, now Donald Trump is taking the career, and you got $800 of student loan debt a month and mortgages you can't afford. Kids that's in court. Like our society, like this was backwards. They lied to us. They tricked and scammed us while they got rich, while preachers got rich. They sold a white woman's feminist movement to black women that did not have the white woman's problems. And they used it to eat us alive. While the white woman became Christy Noam and she became Caroline Lovett, you understand? Our sisters became single mothers in dangerous neighborhoods because of the kids that they raised without a man, because the lying preacher said, woman, thou art loose. And God didn't say, woman, thou art loose. God said, woman, you belong to your man. The head of the woman is the man. That's your authority. That's your filter. That's your veto. That's who says yes or no. And they removed that. And with that came the protection and the guidance to make sure that everything did not go off the rails the way that it is now. You understand? Keep going, younger dog.
Because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
Understand? The Lord said because it's polluted.
You froze on the screen out of one if you can hear us.
White man is the devil. Stand by.
Okay, I was already there. Think you removed me.
We see you now, the one.
Right, but the other, I'd been up here for about 20 minutes.
All right, so
Okay, the host is muted. All right, no sir. Let's see how long this holds. Say something.
because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction.
See, we had to be taught that this place was polluted. We had to be taught this. Our sons and daughters need to be taught this, because joining to America will teach your sons and daughters that they're supposed to live an alternative lifestyle. And then our people will end up with AIDS. To teach our sisters to go and be free from being tied down to one man. So you can go and have as many men as you want. And in the process of having as many men as you want, you get filled with herpes and gonorrhea and syphilis and STDs. And then you pass them along to your unborn baby because your womb is polluted from living America's free sexual love lifestyle that they've been building since the 60s and the 70s, before all of these diseases even existed. Like, it is polluted and it's designed specifically to destroy us. You understand? Keep going, Yagadar.
Verse 11. If a man walking in the spirit in falsehood do lie.
All right, you can go ahead and drop that. Give me the next scripture you got up, please.
The next scripture was First Ezra chapter 8 and 84.
Give me that.
Therefore now shall ye not join your daughters unto their sons.
The Lord said we should not join your daughters to their sons. This is integration. The Lord said we are not supposed to join. You must teach this to your Black, Latino, and Native American sons. You don't realize what lessons America has taught them. Your teenage sons need to know that all their hip hop and rappers are telling them that they're supposed to have the strap on them. You must teach this to your 14, 15, 6-year-old son so that he doesn't get caught and end up shooting his girlfriend in self-defense with a gun he's not supposed to have and get 15 years in prison for a plea deal. You must teach him that. You don't know what this society that God said we were not supposed to be a part of has taught them. You must teach this to your daughter. Your daughter needs to learn that sex is marriage before she go and have sex with a boy as a teenager, and then go have sex with a different boy, and then the two boys end up fighting, and some little girl at 5 years old catches a stray bullet in her back and dies, so that she doesn't end up getting shot up with her new man when her other old man gets angry and jealous and kills them both. So that God does not kill your teenage daughter for having sex with multiple boys, which is adultery, because you have not taught her, because the pastors did not teach you that sex is marriage. A ton of kids, teenagers, kill each other all the time over who's all has had sex with this woman, with this girl. It happens all the time. You understand? This place is polluted. The instructions are polluted. It will destroy you with a sore destruction, with pain and sorrow. You must learn that an ungodly man digs up evil. A man that is against God, and most importantly, someone who God will hate. They must learn that if I smoke this cigarette, God will hate me. If I get high, God will hate me. Evil will come. So that before this one cigarette turns into cancer down the line, turns into autism in your children, because you smoked and damaged their young brain cells, because you have a terrible drug addiction to weed and cigarettes that is affecting the child while it's pregnant in your stomach, that is affecting all the children that have to walk past you when you're on the street, that is in your clothes, in your lips, in your tongue, in your hair, in the sheets, in the car, in the sofa of everyone that has to get near or walk past you. Secondhand smoke is worse than firsthand smoke because you can't get the secondhand smoke out of you because you aren't inhaling the smoke to exhale it. You understand? So that before your drug dealer needs you to get more addicted, more high, so it doesn't take longer before you come back. So this time there might be some dust in your weed, might be some fentanyl in your weed, might introduce you to Percocets, might introduce you to cocaine, might introduce you to heroin. You understand? Something that you can't get off is eating away at your skin and your nails and your hair and your teeth and sucking your face in and tearing up your bones. Got you scratching your blood that's in your veins, trying to scratch your blood out before you end up strung out on drugs and with a bitter and a sore destruction, stealing from your family for drug money, stealing from your mama for drug money, prostituting yourself for drug money, full of diseases from prostituting yourself for drug money, sharing needles for drugs. And then you end up with some terrible debilitating disease that takes your life eventually. That's a sore destruction. It's a sore destruction to work all your life to think that I'm strong and independent and no man tell me what to do, for you to be in a vulnerable situation with no one who cares to fight for you because you've been a monster and a dragon all your life trying to rule over men. And the only thing that was actually keeping you afloat was the fact that the society benefited from you being vain and arrogant and rude to the men that the Lord put over you to protect you. And now your money is gone and your car is repossessed and you cannot afford your rent and your mortgage and your security clearance is gone. Donald Trump taking them every month. And now the millions of dollars that you've given to your preachers in every city, oh, we ain't got it. Black women have given Christian preachers $11 billion every single year. Every year. We don't have a farm to show for it. Don't have an apartment complex to show for it. Don't have a rental mortgage assistance to show for it. Don't have a healthcare system to show for it. Don't have a safe neighborhood, a good school system, good healthcare system, nothing. We got nothing to show for it. We've been scammed thinking that these systems that are in place were designed for us. Our people were supposed to get in the ISUPK and build the kingdom of heaven, and we would have everything that we need, even though we were still in captivity. Integration told us to stop building our kingdom, to stop doing for black and brown. It told us to join our oppressor. That's why the Lord said this in Ezra. Keep reading that Ezra.
Neither shall ye, Salakia, neither shall ye take their daughters unto your sons.
You're not allowed to take their daughters to your sons. You aren't allowed to have jungle fever and the swirl and mejor la raza. Go find you a white girl to make half white babies with straight hair. You understand? Thinking that that's going to make the white man, you understand, not look at you like the children of the illegals. Well, I'm a legal Spanish. I'm legal. I vote. I pay my taxes. I straighten my hair. My daughters don't have curly hair. We straighten our hair out. I go to church. I changed the pronunciation of my last name. I'm not one of them. I'm not a construction worker. I don't work in landscaping. I'm not a yard worker. I don't work in no restaurant. I have a good corporate job. I'm Diaz. I'm Castillo. I'm Alvarez. I'm not Alvarez. I'm not Alvaro. I'm not Castillo. That's not me. I'm proper. I vote. I'm a Republican. I would vote for Donald Trump. Now you got your nigga wake-up call. Your light skin not going to save you. Your light bright damn near white not going to save you. Your money not going to save you. Right now, the government the racist January 6ers are auctioning off all of the seized houses, cars, and property that all of our brothers and sisters who thought they were a part of America, they are auctioning all your trucks, all your money from your hotels, your money from your restaurants, your money from your businesses, everything that our people gathered that you thought was going to make you a part of America, it is all being taken away. From the projects you fought and murdered over, the projects where you sold dope, all the gangs that you ran across being bad, all the Latino gangs fighting each other, the Rican gangs, the Haitian gangs killing, fighting each other, everything that we did except building Christ's kingdom is all being taken away. Everything. God told us to gather ourselves together, and our people for decades have largely ignored the prophets that the Lord sent. And the clock is running out. Keep going, Yagador.
Verse 85. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
The Lord said we were never supposed to seek to have peace with them. Who understands? Do you understand what that means? It says seek to have peace with them. What does it mean to seek to have peace? Who knows what that means? What does it mean to seek to have peace? Seeking to have peace is not the same as having peace. Seeking peace is different from having peace. The Bible says, if at all possible, be at peace with all men. That's what it says. It also says that the Lord is a man of war. You said Salakia? Somebody said Salakia?
Go, sir. Salakia, sir. Does it mean to go out your way to try to befriend them, or I don't know, to be peaceful with them?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go, Sister Raj. She went and got the dictionary definition.
Okay.
Got the dictionary. Actively working to obtain their peace. Yes, that's correct. You seeking to have peace with them. You understand? The Lord said, don't seek to have peace with them. You seeking to have peace with them means you'll take on their religion. Well, we don't. We pray to God this way. We put a carpet down and we bow and slam our heads on the floor. You understand? Well, since I want to be your friend, I'm seeking to be at peace with you. Let me see if I can understand your religion. What do you say? Is this what you say? Yeah, we say this to praise Allah. Okay, well, I'm not a Muslim, but let me, for the sake of our friendship, I will help you praise Allah. No, we're not seeking to have peace with them. Oh, Allah is good. Allah is not good for us. No, we don't do that. Praise Jesus. Hallelujah. No, we don't praise Jesus. Hallelujah. Because your Jesus is a white man. And it matters. All praises, no. The God of your all praises is not the God of the Bible. Shabbat Shalom. The God of Shabbat Shalom is not the God of the Bible. The God of Shabbat Shalom lets you vote for your leader. Let you put baby doll tassels at the end of your t-shirts like a hula dress, and then confuse brothers and sisters for decades for something that was never taught in the original school. And now they say Shabbat Shalom and all praises and Yah and Yah and Jehovah and Yah and Ras. And they say all of these other things except for the one thing that it was always from the beginning when the Lord gave the knowledge of the truth and first set up the school. And everybody made something else. Now you got prostitution. Now you're getting high. Now you're teaching rape. Now you're letting your woman run off in your backside. You're threatening to murder your woman. All manner of evil and wickedness coming out of things that should have never existed. And if you are in any other fake Israelite group, you are in something that should have never existed. You're in a Christian church organization. Everything outside of the ISUPK is the Christian church. You are a Christian. You may be trying to not be as Christian as you were before, but you're still a Christian. Because to not be a Christian, you must be a part of the force to fix what is wrong with our people. That is what salvation is. That is what it means to serve Christ. That is what it means to obey God. There's a job. There's a reason and a course for the life. that you're living that our people don't know about. That's how the LGBT is able to suck our people up. The gangster lifestyle can suck our people up. The military can suck our people up. Politics can suck our people up because our people don't know what to do with our lives. We don't know what our life is for. Keep reading, Yagadar.
That ye may be strong.
Why did the Lord say that we should not seek the peace of the other nations? Why?
That ye may be strong.
What city did that Moabite? What city did that Moabite? You understand? Hey, Shalom, brother, out of Mississippi. All right. What city did that Moabite kill that young brother in?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead, Yaquab.
Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia, South Carolina. Do you know how many gangster disciples are in Columbia, South Carolina? Do you know how many GKBs are in Columbia, South Carolina? Gangster killer bloods. Do you know how many 107 Crips and Hoovers are in Columbia, South Carolina? Why in the hell does a Chinese man in Columbia, South Carolina think that he can safely pull a gun on any black person in a nigger city where he set up his Chinese man gas station and get rich every week with all of these actor thugging, running the streets, shoot up your neighborhood gangs? Do you know why? Because the strength that we built to fight each other does not protect us as a people. It doesn't secure our neighborhoods. It doesn't tell the Chinese man that he better not murder a young brother. It doesn't tell the East Indian man that he better not make a brother go take a dump in the grass and then take a picture of his private parts on camera and post it up in front of the store. It don't deter him. You might not be safe in Columbia, South Carolina, but the goddamn Chinese man with a business where he pull pistols on people and chase them in the woods, he's safe in Columbia, South Carolina. This is why it's imperative that we gather ourselves to the place where the Lord told us to be. Because we've gathered ourselves together. We gathered for Crippin. We gathered for GB the Reason. We gathered for Blood. We gathered for Roland. We gathered for we signed to the streets. We gathered for the block. We gathered for the Nation of Islam. We've been in Nation of Islam since the 60s. It didn't stop heroin, didn't stop crack, didn't stop mandatory minimums, didn't stop the government from infiltrating the Black Panthers. They had shotguns and rifles marching on the street, scaring white people to death. It didn't stop any of the problems that we have. That's why we must gather in this place. Because nobody else has the Spirit of the Lord. Nobody else is even connected to the Lord. Even understand the purpose for salvation. Salvation is to build something to protect your people. Read that 85 again.
First Ezra, chapter 8, verse 85. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
God said never. That means when your belly is empty, you are not supposed to compromise your empty belly to have peace with them. When your belly is full, you are not supposed to compromise to have peace with them. When you are down to your last, that doesn't mean you compromise and go sell drugs, go prostitute, go join the military, go rob. These options were left to us as a people because the Christian preachers stole all the other resources that were supposed to go to us, that your mother and your aunt and your grandmother refused to give to Commanding General YAHANNA, but they gave it all to Farrakhan. They gave it all to Elijah Muhammad. They gave it all to Eddie Long. They gave it all to Jesse Jackson. They gave it all to Geno Jenkins. They gave it all to, what's his name? What's the big head one? The power bottom. Found out he was a side. TD Jakes. They gave it all to Jakes and Creflo. They gave it all to your mama's pastor. While you in there singing and jumping up and down and taking pictures and looking fly. You understand? The money you giving them to get a bigger building is supposed to be housing and feeding and getting Pampers and diapers and housing assistance, places to live, not a new Cadillac for your pastor. You understand? They gave it all. Pastor shaming your mama on the internet. Pastor, I got this $900 to bless you with. You hard hit it. I said $1,200. I don't have the other $400. Well, what you waiting for? Hit the strip. Get my money. Yes, Pastor. I'm gonna see that's the problem. Y'all hard headed. Y'all got to pay to pray. You understand? These prayers ain't cheap. Take your mom out here, go give me that $400 and come back next service. This had never had anything to do with God. Never. The Christian church is a cancer that has infected all blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. It has intergenerationally infected us as a people. It's infected us so deep we're killing each other. Read, keep going, Yagador.
That ye may be strong.
That we may be strong. All of this strength we have to do evil to each other, we don't have enough strength to fight and this be my brother for the rest of our life like we used to. We can't get in no fist fight and then be best friends for the next 40 years of our life. We got to get in a fist fight. We swing, everybody miss, tight pants, stupid sliding shoes all over the floor, and then we all pull guns and kill people we not aiming at, and then do a life sentence in prison. That's what happens to us now because we sought to have peace with our oppressors. We sought to have peace by shaving our beard off. You understand? You remember back in the day, brothers had afro, big afro. Sisters had afros, big afros. And then at some point, once Jesse Jackson said we not Negro, nigger, or colored no more, now we African Americans. And he was a federal government agent. Now that you African American, that bush got to get smaller. You know what? Why don't we just take it down real low? Let's get rid of that bush. It looked so black, so intimidating. We want to let them know to get to see the content of our character. We don't want them to look at us and be afraid. They don't want to look at us and see that they had us in slavery for 400 years. Show them your teeth. That afro it's so strong. That's it. Can you straighten your hair? Let's get a hot comb and burn that afro to make it lay down flat. Let's put some chemicals in it that's going to give everybody cancer seeping in through your pores. Let's see if we can make that afro straight hair. Let's get rid of those braids. After about 6th grade, I did this study about a decade ago. After about 6th grade, every young girl, them little girl braids, that hair, all that shit is over. Straighten that hair out. You got to get that hair bobbing, get that hair perm. No more of this young, pretty, beautiful nigga baby doll hair. None of that. You got to grow up. Get rid of that afro. Get rid of that nigga hair. Get rid of that. Can't keep that. That's not professional. That's not accepted. That's not mature. That's not adult. That's not American. You got to get rid of that. That's too black, too ethnic, too ghetto, too niggerish. You aren't allowed to do that. Meanwhile, the Chinese man don't bathe in China or America. Mei Ling with that same outfit, 43 years, selling bad wings at that carryout. She got the same pair of shoes. Dong Wong, same thing. Them people in that nail salon got 3 outfits. They been wearing them same 3 outfits the whole time your rib been going to that nail salon, getting her nails done. You know all the outfits of all them people in that nail salon. Them Moabites got six outfits tops. All that money. You understand? They don't have to change who they are. You walk in that carryout, you see a little cat doll bobbing hands, you see a little Buddha and some bamboo. They're not changing their gods. You understand? The Arab man have multiple wives in the Middle East. He come to America and have multiple wives and don't get no damn court-issued ring or paper either. He ain't following the white man. Let one of them wives decide they're going to leave him. She going missing. They had a big thing with that all throughout the country, called it honor killings. That daughter don't want to go and marry to who he planned to marry her off to. She want to go run away. They throw acid in her face. Happen all the time in America and the Middle East. They had to pass legislation to stop it from happening. because nobody was getting rid of their culture. Now, we are not promoting not washing your tail, not getting different changes of outfits, not looking good, not looking fly. It's not a crime. It's not unlawful. But the pursuit of us seeking to have peace with them made you look in the mirror and say, which doll is the good doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the good doll? Oh, the one that looked like Barbie, Cinderella, and Snow White. Which one is the mean one? The one that looked like mommy? The one that looked like grandma? The one that looked like my sister? Which one of these look like you? Oh, I guess I'm the bad one. I'm the not good one. I'm the ugly one. Oh, that's why God said don't seek to have peace with them. Most of the young brothers and sisters hate themselves. They already on the edge. Like, you got to get the spirit of the Lord so that can get in them. Kids don't have another 20 years like the previous generations do to try to figure it out. Everybody on the edge already. They don't have 30 years of trying to struggle to stand up straight. They don't have that in them anymore. You better get them in here before you lose them. You understand? You can't keep ignoring the prophets of the Lord. We're running out of time. All right? So the Lord said that we would be strong. There would be no one to support their businesses. They would be, if they wanted to do any business in our community, they'd be forced to give us the business and try to get a cut off of our business. But they wouldn't be able to set up shop because who would support them? Nobody. Who would go to their store? Nobody. Who would let them safely walk through the neighborhood? If I'm not safe in the neighborhood, why the hell is he safe in the neighborhood? That's the question. I live in 5C. You live in 5D. Why am I not safe in the 5 building, but he's safe in the 5 building? That's crazy. This is because we've been taught to hate ourselves. Salvation is to make you look at your brother like your brother again and not the ops. It's to make you look at your sister like a sister again and not an enemy, not someone I have to fight or destroy or hurt. You understand? This is supposed to be your backup. But us seeking to have peace with our oppressors made us be their backup. Like, we've been the backup for Islam. We were the backup that said, see, it ain't all about slavery and hating dark-skinned people. Look at all the dark-skinned black people over there that love Islam. They don't know about us castrating little boys and forcing them to watch the harems as the sheikh prostitutes their mother and their little sisters. They don't know about that. You know what they know? The Nation of Islam marching with smooth face and bow ties, looking cool. They don't know about, you understand, carrying hot chains barefoot, walking through the Sahara Desert in slave caravans. They don't know that about Islam. They just know assalamu alaikum and everything is good and we smile and be all nice and respectful. They don't know about you getting stoned to death because some bastard wanted to marry a 12-year-old to a 40-year-old pedophile and the baby want to run away. So they accuse her of something evil and throw rocks at her until she died because she don't want to be raped by a murderer. They don't know about that. They don't put that in there, Allah the beneficent and the most merciful. They don't never bring that part up. Or the red beards, when you eat the hearts of Allah's enemies that you cut out of a dead man that you just killed, and then you eat their heart and their blood from their heart drips on your beard. That's what the red beard is that you dumb niggas in the hood are wearing, thinking that you in a peaceful religion don't know the red beard is for eating hearts. But again, it's not your culture. It's not your God. You're a damn bird trying to swim in the water. Doesn't make sense. This is why we must gather ourselves together and put on the spirit of the Lord. We sought to have peace with people and their culture. We don't even know their culture. We didn't even know them. We went and got into Hollywood thinking we're going to get fame and success. You ran into a man that want to line you up and let other men run in your backside. Got a buck break you for a damn Hollywood career like Will Smith, like Diddy, like Usher. You understand? Just so that you can sing and dance You got to let Clive Davis run in your behind. You understand? When you could have stayed singing and dancing in the Chitlin circuit and become a 10,000-aire and supported the local businesses and the local pool halls rather than go to Las Vegas and get turned into a male prostitute to get passed around all the Hollywood executives, then you try to smoke yourself to death or snort yourself to death because you got decades of regret from hoeing yourself out, trying to be a part of a place that will destroy you with a sore destruction, a bitter destruction. You understand? That's why Prince and Michael Jackson died of a drug overdose, thinking of what they had to do to fit into the society, to bleach your skin so you don't see that little black boy in the mirror every day, to chop up that nigger nose so you don't see them colored features every day. That's why every time some brother or sister make it and get rich and want to excel, you got to chop your nose. You got to cut your lips. You got to get some facial reconstruction surgery. Buy a new breast, buy a new behind. This place is a sore destruction. You can't even look at your real self in the mirror without somebody cutting something or adding something into you. You aren't even allowed to be slim or skinny or big or fat or light or dark. Everything must fit into this society. The Lord wants to deliver us from this filth. He wants to free us from all of this. That's what salvation is for. You understand? Give me that 28 and 68. What I want. Deuteronomy 28:68. Get y'all out of here just a moment. We got a little bit late started, a lot of technical difficulties. The water y'all hanging in there. I'm gonna hit a couple of these points before we get up out of here. You damn right. That's crazy work. You understand?
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 68.
That's right.
And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
The Lord said, this is a prophecy in the Bible that the true biblical ethnic Jews, this is you, black man, black woman, West Indian, Haitian, this is you, so-called Latino man, woman, Native American, contrary to what you believe or what you have been told, they don't even teach slavery in schools anymore. So you'd never learn about it if not for the ISUPK. But the transatlantic slave trade started by taking natives from the Taino Islands, which today is Puerto Rico, and from the coast of America and the Carib and the Arawak Islands, taking the natives from what we know as Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic and Haiti, taking them back to Seville, Spain, to be slaves in Europe. That's when the transatlantic slave trade started. The oppressors were so dirty and filthy and filled with diseases that our people did not have and did not have any immunity to. Our people died in such massive numbers that they then went and got the rest of us from the west coast of Africa. And that started the other half of the transatlantic slave trade, which went on for centuries. This is a biblical prophecy that is identifying the identity of the so-called Negro, Haitian, and West Indian. That you are not an African. You were never an African. That's why they sold you. The map for the old place that they called Africa was called the land of Wida, or the land of Judah, because it was named after us. We had established such great empires in West Africa that when the white man came to it, it was obvious who was not one of them. It was obvious by the smell who wash and bathe every day and who doesn't, who sticks their head up an elephant's behind and who has a city with gold. You understand? Who bathes in an animal's piss and who has running water and pipes in their homes, who lives in a mud hut, who has brick houses, who has banks and treasuries, who are iron and leather workers. The Africans don't do that. They still don't do that. They changed the names and drew lines all through West Africa. None of those countries ever existed. Those people and tribes knew we would have an entire empire that we built, and they were able to take it over after the white man stole everything and they sold us to them because we are under these biblical curses for disobeying the God of the Bible. And you must teach this, because there is a way that your sons and daughters must learn to navigate. Your mother must learn this. All that being a nice, sweet old lady is not going to stop her from getting her hip broken and her jaws curb stomped by the goddamn police officer. What's the name of that devil? Keenan Thompson something, that just beat the piss out of some autistic sister, busted her lip, busted her mouth, busted her nose, bloodied her up, slammed her on the ground. He beating on this autistic sister that's about 110 pounds, punching her in the face like he's in a goddamn UFC match in North Carolina. Thankfully, the North Carolina district attorney and the police force saw fit to get rid of this piece of garbage and fire him and bring him, that's right, Carson Hyder. May God Almighty that sit in heaven curse Carson Hyder.
That's right.
That's right.
And God give Carson Hyder's mother all the cancer, all the high blood pressure, his father, his brothers, his sisters, his wife, if she's a heathen, and his children. May they all get cancer and hives and rashes and fever and panic attacks and strokes. May they all suffer horribly and get every evil thing that God Almighty in heaven has to give for the cruelty that this bastard did to this system. You understand? By Hashem Yahawashah. People must learn they must pay for the evil that they do to our people. They must pay. And we don't have the power to make them pay, nor are we advocating violence to make them pay. But we do have a God who is a power that sends evil and good, that makes light and darkness. And he can send his power to get us justice. And we have to earn the right to get such justice from our power by keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments and obeying the Most High. You understand? Keep going, whoever's reading.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Meaning our homeland in the Middle East where we come from. We come from the Middle East. The northern half of our people, the house of Israel was the northern kingdom. They left during the Assyrian captivity and came over to North, South, and Central America hundreds of years before Christ was even born. Before we even left the Middle East and fled to the west coast of Africa, they had already left. The mission of salvation is to reunite so-called Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans back to so-called black people. That's what salvation is for. Yabakar, give me Matthew chapter 10, verse 5 and 6, Baba Kishar. Keep going, Yagador.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Meaning we would not see our homeland again. That's why if you ask all the black people that you know, every aunt, every friend, every cousin, every co-worker, any nigga you see anywhere, ask them, what is their nationality? What race are we? I promise you, everyone will not give you the same answer. Go and ask any Korean man about Chinese. Ask any Ethiopian about Nigeria. And I promise you'll find out that we are not the world, that all people are not the same. Go ask an East Indian about Afghanistan. Find an Arab and ask an Iranian about Lebanon. See if he tell you we all the same. Nobody will tell you that but the people who don't know their identity. That's why this prophecy says we would not see our homeland again. We don't know what race we are. And if you can't teach your children what their identity is, that means that anybody can come along and give them a new identity. Keep going.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And when we got off Chicago, hold on 1 second now. You got to know how to break that down, Yagadar. Can't just run through the stop sign. And there, in that place where we got off those slave ships, we would be sold on auction blocks all throughout Mississippi. There's a brother in here from Mississippi, all throughout South and North Carolina, even though it was only one Carolina at the time, all throughout Virginia, all throughout Maryland and Kentucky, all throughout Florida and Georgia and Alabama, all throughout Louisiana, all throughout Mexico and Panama, throughout Colombia and Brazil, throughout Cuba and Hispaniola, the Dominican Republic and Haiti and Martinique and Barbados and St. Kitts and Yemen and Lucia and the Bahamas. We were sold to who?
Your enemies.
We were sold to who God calls our enemies. Who were we sold to?
Your
Y'all
enemies.
go ahead and answer in the chat. I'm gonna speed up. I want you to type who bought us off of those slave ships. The good ship Jesus, the Nina, the what is it? The Nina Pinta and Santa Maria. Who sold us on those auction blocks? Who bought us? Who did that? Because God said that those people that bought us were our enemies. No, no, not our enemies. That's what it says. Who are our enemies? Who were the people that bought us? Who are they now? Your kids need to know this. Your sons need to know this. Your daughters need to know this. You understand? The Portuguese, the Dutch, the Irish. Who are they today? What do we call these people? That's right, sister. White people. That's who we were sold to. They must learn that. We must learn that. That is a safety thing. We must learn this. God wants us to know this. So you won't know who you need salvation from. You'll think when the white boy walk into your all-black church that Jesus showed up, until Jesus pull out 3 9mm and start killing everybody.
That's right.
That's what happened when Dylan Roof went in that church in South Carolina. Keep going, Yagador.
Shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen.
For a slave man, a man with his price on his head. Got a bounty on our heads. You haven't been taught there's a bounty on you. You've been taught you in America. You understand? And you'd be shocked. Why the teachers racist to me? Why the teachers call us names? Why the teachers pull my hair? Why the teachers paint a bullet wound on my son for Halloween? No, some white teacher painted a bullet wound with a bullet hole and some blood leaking out a young baby's head for a Halloween costume. This baby went to school at 4 years old, and she painted a bullet hole in his head for Halloween. You better bring them in here so that they can get prepared. Keep thinking you got time to wait for a time to have a talk. God didn't say wait for no time to have a talk. He said teach these laws diligently unto thy seed before they learn good or bad. You better make sure they know. You think them lions care that that gazelle can't walk yet? The hyenas don't care that that zebra just fell out of their mama. Them hyenas ready to eat that gazelle. They eat the damn mama if the mama couldn't get away too. Rip the baby out and eat the baby before the baby's born. The Lord called these other nations the beast of the field. You would not go to China and set up a business over the top of Chinese people in the ghetto, but they will come to your neighborhood and set up a business over the top of you in the ghetto. You must learn this. Keep going, Yagador.
And bondwoman.
For a man or a woman with a price on their head. That's why they advertise to you to get separated from your man. To be Queen Diva Boss Lady, don't need no woman. Teacher in Florida hang a black baby doll in her classroom in front of the children. Put that up there. Sister DeBar said that. That's crazy. If you don't stand up and fight for your heritage, you show the other races of people they don't have to respect you. You think some Arab respects you being a Muslim and he know the history of what his people did to you? You think the white Christians respect your nigger Christianity? You singing and whooping and juking and bucking around. They used to beat and whip us to force us to do that. We learned that because the Greeks was butchering brothers and sisters to not eat pork. They forced us to do that jumping around and juking and bucking that they call praise dancing in church now. Your grandma don't know nothing about the Bible. They were hanging babies from trees to force us to do them stupid praise break dances that your grandma doing in church with the white slave gloves on so they don't see your nigger skin touching their food while you serve them in the big house. Don't know what you doing on that usher board. Everything in life is about race. Everything. Now read what you got, Yabakar, please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Yahweh sent forth.
Christ sent forth 12 disciples. It says these 12 because there were more disciples than the 12 disciples. The 12 were the senior men that controlled the school under Christ. There were more than 12 disciples. Keep going. Give me the other scripture, NATAZACH, where it talks about the 70 disciples. Because I think we got some new brothers and sisters in class that never heard it before. Y'all got time? Y'all can hang in there with me a little bit. I'm trying to get y'all out of there. I know the time coming up. Salaki, y'all. I'm going to get y'all up out of here in just a minute. Keep going.
And commanded them.
And gave these 12 an order. He gave those disciples orders. What were the orders that Christ gave to his men to complete the mission that God Almighty in heaven sent him to do on earth? Keep going.
Saying.
What did he say? What were the orders that Christ gave his disciples? Go ahead.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Don't go into the way of the other nations of people. The word Gentiles just means nations. Don't go to all the nations of people. Don't go everywhere like your Christian missionaries talking about the Lord is leading on my heart to get into the missions field. Where you going? You going to Detroit? You going to Baton Rouge? You going to New Orleans? You headed to Mosby Courts? You headed to Portsmouth or Petersburg? Did the Lord lead you to a missions to Norfolk? Nah, I'm going to Kenya. I'm going to India. I'm going to Angola. Or the Lord didn't lead you to help poor blacks and Latinos. The Lord leads you to go help everybody but the children of God, huh? It's just laid on my heart. You know, them people don't have nothing. Well, last I checked, niggas in Norfolk didn't have clean water. Got sewage coming out the pipes in Norfolk and Richmond. Why don't you do no missions there? Send tens of thousands of dollars of aid to them. Help them get clothes and food and shoes and fill their cabinets. While you feeding Africans and East Indians that's going to come to America and pull guns on your nephew and make him take a dump in the grass. Keep going.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
And into any city of the Samaritans. The Samaritans were the Africans, the Ethiopians that were moved into our cities after they got gentrified. That's where the Samaritans. The people that lived in Samaria had already left the Middle East generations ago and came over to this side of the world. This is the mission he gave to his disciples. Go and find, keep going.
Verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Instead of going to everybody like church teaches you Jesus love everybody, he said specifically go and find the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's the only people he sent his disciples to. He specifically told them not to go to all people. That was the first set of the instructions. Don't go out there loving everybody. Go and find these people, just them. If niggas don't live in the city, don't even go into the city. Don't even go there if there are none of these people there. Keep going.
Verse 7. And as ye go.
As you go to blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, keep going.
Preach.
Preach. Teach them. Teach them what?
Saying.
This is what you tell them. Go ahead.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's what we're learning about building the kingdom. How do you build the kingdom? You go get the lost sheep of the house of Israel so we can gather ourselves together and serve Christ. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Keep going.
Verse 8. Heal the sick.
Heal the sick of our people. All the cancer, all the high blood pressure and diabetes and gout and fibroid and thyroids and bad backs and feet and kidneys and heart problems. Heal the sick of our people. Not all people, not all the boys and girls and children of the world. Keep going.
Cleanse the lepers.
Cleanse the lepers, the sick and terminally ill and ostracized of our people. So mentally ill sisters don't get beat to piss at a goddamn traffic stop. by some white boy. Keep going.
Raise the dead.
Raise the dead. Bring our people up from their dead state so they can have their identity, so they can know who their God is. What is their language? What are they supposed to celebrate? What food do they eat? What sex are they supposed to have so they don't get full of diseases by having the wrong type of sex? How to have a marriage, how to deal, how to maintain your food, how to live your life. What is the purpose? What's the goal? What is it all about? Keep going.
Cast out devils.
Cast out devils, the demons, the evil spirits on our people, from all the abuse, from not knowing your father, from all the molestation, all the prison time, all the drug addiction, all the heroin addiction, all the abuse, everything. Heal the sick, cast them out, get them out of OnlyFans, out of prostitution, out of being porn stars, from all the child molestation that they've had. Repair the relationships with your people. Teach brothers how to deal with each other without killing each other. Teach sisters how to deal with each other without talking about each other behind their back, without hating each other, without making your sister hate herself, making your brother hate himself, making your children hate themselves. That's what salvation is for. Not to love the white man who would kill us all if he had an opportunity. Keep going.
Freely ye have received.
I have freely given you this. This is the gift of God for his people, his children, not all people. Give me Christ in the 17:9, Yaquab. Give me John 17:9. Finish that up. Is that the end of that, Yaquab? I mean, Yagador? Damn.
Yeah.
No more yahs. Nobody else getting no yahs in their name from now on. We yah'd out. Freely ye give, freely ye receive. Meaning the Lord sent us here to do this so that you can get salvation. Not all people. All people need salvation. We need salvation from all people. So we have our own land, our own food, our own God. So nobody steals our music, steals our dances, steals our love for one another, steals our children. You understand? None of our tribes end up in dog cages. Keep going. Or on reservations where you don't even know they exist. Keep going.
Verse 9.
Salaki, that's it. That's
it. Go.
That's it. That's it for you. The water. The water. What you got, Mataza? Are you holding something?
Come on, sir.
Give it to me.
This is Luke chapter 10, verse 1. After these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also.
Put that up on the screen just so that you know the 12 disciples were not the only men that served Christ. The Lord appointed another 70. 70. I'm going to bring the scripture out as often as I think of it because nobody else knew that there were more than 12 disciples. The Last Supper was not just 12 brothers sitting in a room. It was filled with brothers and sisters, full of brothers and sisters. The 12 sat at the chief table because they were in charge. The Lord appointed another 70 disciples also. Keep going.
And sent them 2 and 2.
He sent them 2 by 2. That is 35 groups of disciples that your preacher never taught you about. Who here were taught about these 70 disciples? I bet you only learned about the 12. I bet you didn't know there were 70 other disciples that got the same instructions. Keep reading, Matazah.
Before his face into every city and place.
He sent them 2 and 2 before his face. He sent them. He gave them an order before his face, meaning his face is here. This is before his face. Before he gets to the city, he given these 35 groups of brothers an order. Keep going.
Whether he himself would come.
If it's worth him coming to the city or not. You never learned about these 70 other disciples. These brothers was working too. Their names did not get recorded, but there were more brothers doing work. They weren't just doing this for him and the 12 just walking around. There was a ton of brothers in this work, building the kingdom, because the kingdom don't come with observation. It's work to build it. Men doing work, losing sleep, losing time, losing money, being away from their wives and kids and children. It's work to build the kingdom, to build the nation. Give me what you holding, Yaquab, please.
Come. The book of John, chapter 17, verse 9. I pray for them.
Christ said, I pray for them. These disciples that you gave me, Lord, that's who I pray for. Keep going.
I pray not for the world.
I'm not praying for everybody on the planet. I'm not praying for all the boys and girls and children of the world. I'm not here for all that. I ain't here for that. We've been lied to and told that Christ loved and prayed and died for everybody. Christ said out of his own mouth, I ain't here for everybody. I ain't going to everybody's house. I don't love everybody. You understand? So, lock it. Take it from there real quick. Take it from there real quick. Give me a second. Keep going.
But for them which thou hast given me.
So this is Christ saying how he was given. I believe he said take it. How
he
Christ
said take it out.
Most High Christ. This is Christ talking about how he only prays and only looks out for and only cares for those who were given to him by the Most High. So it goes back to if you're in these classes, if you hear the truth, if you hear brothers out on the street, if you hear brothers on YouTube, and this makes sense, that's not by accident. Right. That's not by accident. The Lord does not want everybody. Right. The Lord does not want every nation, and he doesn't want everybody, even that is in the race of Israel, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Only some were given
that's right.
to Christ. Salakia, sir.
No, that's right. You're right on that. Damn right. He does not want everybody. You understand? Everybody has an opportunity if you are black, Latino, or Native American. But if you don't follow and humble yourselves to get under his disciples, he was not praying for you. That's why we tell brothers and sisters, if you are not in the ISUPK, you are not in the truth. Now, why would Christ even bother to say, I pray for them? I pray not for the world. Your whole life, you've been taught Christ loved everybody, died for everybody, praying for everybody. Christ said out of his own mouth, I'm praying for these that you gave me, that they follow me, that they do what I say because you sent me and they recognize it. Everybody else, they on their own. This is Christ's words. There were fake Israelites that refused to follow Christ. There were religious leaders that refused to follow Christ. There were politicians that refused to follow Christ. And Christ talked to them in riddles so that they couldn't understand a damn thing. He didn't love them. He didn't love everybody. He wasn't on everybody's side, and he knew everybody wasn't on his side. He rode with 12 disciples. All 12 of them disciples were strapped. They came to kill Christ in the middle of the night. The disciples asked Christ, what are we supposed to do? Are we going to kill him with the sword? People get Christ, you understand? Give me that scripture real quick. Where it says, shall we smite with the sword? They came to arrest Christ. Them disciples didn't give Christ up. Christ gave them an order to stand down. They were going to come and snatch Christ up like a criminal in the middle of the night. He said, I've been before you all the time. I've been in the temple. I've been in the streets. I ain't hiding from nobody. You could have come and get me at any time. I'm out here. He wasn't scary. They came and ran down on Christ, and Peter drew his sword and cut a man's ear off immediately. Those were trained warriors. They're not choir boys, not white men wearing them Roman togas and them bathrobes that you've been looking at all these pictures, seeing some dirty blonde beach boy talking all nice and smooth, hugging white kids. That's not Jesus in the Bible. That's not Christ. That image and that spirit of Christianity is why your son went to go join a gang rather than follow you to church. You don't want to be no gay choir boy hugging some white man speaking soft words. You want to be a rough warrior because the Lord is a man of war. And the God that you're trying to introduce to him is not the God that matches what's in his spirit. So he's going to have to go find God in the streets and ruin his life. because you didn't get in the ISUPK. That's why Christ said, I pray for them. I pray not for the world. Christ told them when they ran down on Christ to arrest him, the disciples saw, it says, when they were which about him saw what would follow. They looking, they seeing the mob coming, they seeing the ops running down on them. They say, oh, it's going down. You understand? They say, oh, that's what it is? That's what we doing? You understand? What did they say unto him? Read that, Yagadar. Y'all don't know about Christ and these disciples. You've been thinking the men of God was scary sissies like you've been learning about it in church, in them uncomfortable shoes, sliding on the floor, singing like Luther Vandross. That's not the men of God in the Bible. Hit that.
This is Luke chapter 22, verse 49. When they which were about him saw what would follow.
They see the smoke coming. They see it's going down. They see the ops showing up. They see the torches. They see men. They see killers coming. What did they say?
They said unto him, Lord.
They said, Lord. They turned to Christ. They see the enemies coming. They see punk ass Judas coming. They see him coming. They said, Lord. What did they say?
Shall we smite with the sword?
We gonna kill him or not? What did they say?
Shall we smite with the sword?
We gonna open fire. It's going down. We getting it on. What's next? That's what the disciples said. They said, shall we smite with the sword? They here so we can kill him. What's the order, sir? Salakia. That's what they asked Christ. They didn't get to hemming and hawing and holding hands and we are the world. They wasn't doing none of that. It was going to be some killing happening there if Christ did not stop them. He told them, no, Peter still shot somebody. You understand? These was not choir men. You understand? Christ had to rebuke Peter and told him this is supposed to happen. Christ even put the man's ear back on that Peter just cut his ear off. Christ put his ear back on and healed him, then went to be taken to prison. They got Christ mixed up, man. This is who we're supposed to be following. You understand? This is what all the young brothers and brothers that wants to be rough and strong and respectable, you put on the spirit of the Lord. They were ready for war, absolutely. They were trained men of war. They were not choir boys. They weren't thinking that Dylan Roof was coming to give them a hug when the Romans rolled up on them in the middle of the night. They didn't see Jesus. They saw enemies. You understand? With that, we way up over the time. To what if y'all hanging in there? Let's go ahead and get these security announcements, wrap it up, so I get y'all up out of there. All right, the water, clap it up, clap it up. All right, let's get the security announcement. We'll do it again on Friday. All right, let's get it.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Root for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for a year. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After a year, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10 in the Hebrew. Ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. What you're going to do, you're going to go to ISUPK.com, look up in the top left corner, you'll see a blue button that says tithes and donations. That's where you go to get your tithes and your donations at, all right? Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. The next upcoming holy convocations is the memorial, the blowing of the trumpets, all right? So when you're in the school, check the bulletin boards for that and stay checking in with your camp leader to make sure when those dates coming up when we start that. All right. Any brother want to come into the school to be a trooper, he needs to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. Any sister wants to come into the school, she needs to have her head completely covered and wear a modest dress. All right. And with that, we're gonna give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Sisters, Yeshavi, men of Israel, Imajim. Men of Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imajim. Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Y'all by Shimei Shah Barakatham.
Yahmatah. Akim. Sar. Face the sisters. The sisters, I imagine. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine. Barak.
Yahweh Shabbat Hashem Yahushua.
Barakatham by Shimei Shah.
Yahmatah. Class dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're